Welcome to Tie-Dye Dialogues, where our host, Lou Silverman, also known as the Tie-Dye Lawyer, offers entertaining and intriguing insights into leadership with guests with proven success and uncompromising leadership skills. Today's guest, Alissa Serignese, is the Vice President for the ASU Alumni Association and the Office of University Events. In these roles, Alissa manages numerous engagement programs, including ASU Leadership Institute, directs signature events, including ASU Founders Day and the Legends Luncheon, develops student engagement, and oversees the expansion of the Alumni Association's chapter network that includes 170 groups, university groundbreakings, and special conferences and events. And now, Lou Silverman.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Tie-Dye Dialogues. Very happy this morning to have as our guest Alissa Serignese. And Alissa, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Lou. I am so excited to see you.
Well, that's good to see you too. It's been roughly a year, right? Give or take, since the earth stood still, as they say.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Are you starting to get out at all in the world?
Yep. I certainly am. I am fortunate to be at ASU, and I've been able to get both of my shots, so I'm fully vaccinated. And yeah, I will admit that does give you a sense of, you see light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to go out, still, forks up, masks up, but yeah, I definitely am able to go out a little bit more and do things. It's almost like getting back to normal. And on campus too, out my front window, we're starting to see more and more people.
What do you have a view of from your window there?
I have the best office on campus.
Really?
Old Main, so our most historic building, and then my window faces the Old Main lawn. So I have the Kachina fountain right outside.
Right out front.
And I have all the lawn all the way to university.
I can just see all the old pioneers gathering out there.
Yes, exactly, right?
So,
Yep.
well, I'm gonna have to get you a signature mask, Alissa, but I'll make it maroon and gold for you, okay? So I'll get that.
That is the one thing I don't have.
Well, you'll have one sooner than you probably want. So, it's amazing that you've been connected to Tempe through two different jobs, Tempe Chamber and now the Alumni Association. When did you start with the Tempe Chamber?
So I started at the Tempe Chamber of Commerce in 1996. So I grew up in Mesa. I came to ASU. I lived on campus all 4 years. I graduated in December of 95, and I started at the Tempe Chamber in 1996.
Okay.
So, really the Tempe Chamber back, when I started, it was on rural and Apache, just moved into that.
Yeah, by that Holiday Inn there, I think, right?
Yes. And it was Holiday Inn, and, Penn Johnson was, always around. And I started at the Tempe Chamber, working the front desk, and it gave me the opportunity to meet every single person walking into the Tempe Chamber. And back then it was, I think email was just getting started. So people, when they needed things, they would walk into the Tempe Chamber. They'd walk in to join, they'd walk in to register for events. So I was able to meet all the Tempe Chamber business leaders and community leaders.
Well, that's what I find so strange, is the first time that you and I met was at the Sun Bowl in El Paso. I'm going to say 4 years ago, I think maybe I can't
Yeah.
remember who we played, but
Yeah,
and I know
yeah,
that you had just recovered from your breast cancer.
yeah,
So
yes.
when you were pointed out to me that that's Alissa, and I was told your story, that's the first time that I had met you, which is kind of funny because I've been in Tempe for I hate to tell you this, but close to 40 years now. So
I don't know how
isn't
our
that
paths
crazy?
did not
We
cross,
just,
Lou.
you know what it
And
was? If we could be filming a movie about our lives, we crossed this way, that way, but we just never bumped into each
and
other.
I know we did because when I was at ASU, I worked at Campus Corner,
Mm.
including the one on Mill Avenue.
Oh my God, I
What
can't
was
tell you.
your firm on Mill Avenue?
We were on Mill Avenue where the, well, now where the Taco Bell is, but where Restaurant
Yeah,
Mexico became.
yeah, yeah. So I'd be walking up and down, Mill Avenue.
That is funny. So, gosh, there's so many things that I'd like to talk to you about, and I don't have enough time to talk about everything. So we're going to try to weave it in, though. This is uh, a dialogue about leadership,
Right.
and I'd like to know more about your style of leadership. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what you do sort of day to day in the Alumni Association and, kind of how that interweaves with your leadership.
Sure. Sure. So I'm lucky because I myself have a great leader at ASU. Of course, we have President Crow, and of course, the president CEO of the ASU Alumni Association is Dr. Wilkinson, and she is the epitome of, the ultimate in leadership and in Sun Devil in Sun Devil history, and our community is lucky to have somebody like her.
Mhm.
So I'm very fortunate that I am able to, I don't know, observe as much as I possibly can, and then we have assembled an incredible team at the Alumni Association, which I am so fortunate for. And Lou, I think all of us
Mhm.
here could
Sure.
attest to
Yeah.
the we are surrounded by the best of the best. From Tanya, Doug, Trish, Tracy, the crew, and they truly are the hardest working crew, and we do have so much fun together. And I think it's important um, to be able to enjoy what you do. I think it's very important to really have a passion and just love what you do. And I look at it more as I want to do my best for Sun Devil Nation, for my team, just for our community. And also the thing about the Alumni Association, those who do get involved, they really do want to make a difference. They do want to give back to the alma mater, to their alma mater. So I do feel like I am surrounded by the best, just the best of the best. I'm so lucky.
Um, why does a university need an alumni association?
There is a large voice that alumni hold. And for us, we want our alumni to have strong affinity. We want our alums to become great ambassadors of the university. Could they help us with recruitment? We want people to be sending all their friends and family to ASU. So we want our alums to help with recruitment. Number two, fundraising. We always want our alums to help with fundraising. We just had Sun Devil Giving Day, and I know for the Alumni Association, we did have a record-breaking day. And again, it's because our alumni, they are passionate about ASU. They want to help the future generation, the future Sun Devils, to to continue on, with their experience. So alumni are very important to the overall success of a university.
Since I know you've got a group of people, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
how do you delegate? What's your responsibility
sure,
versus the responsibility, say, of other team members?
sure,
Like
sure.
tomorrow, you've got a big event, Founders
Right.
Day, right? So
Yeah.
how do you get a Founders Day off the ground, particularly virtually?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lou. So you're absolutely right. Tomorrow we do have Founders Day. Everybody can certainly tune in. It will be streaming live. So, we are set up where we have, you can look at it as in three different areas, three different main areas. We do have a director of signature events. So, Tanya, she manages all of our signature events, including Founders Day, Sun Devil 100, which I should say, Lou, congratulations, because you are in Sun Devil 100.
I was in last year's group.
Oh, yes, you were in last year's group.
I was in
Yes.
last
Did
year's group.
you apply for
I
this
applied.
upcoming?
I applied again. So,
Okay, yes, we're going to be making that announcement very soon. As soon
okay.
as we get through Founders Day, we're very close.
Unfortunately, I feel like anybody, well, first of all, I can't complain. Everybody's been affected by the pandemic, but
Right.
I feel like being elected or chosen to the Sun Devil 100 in the year of a pandemic was unfortunate because I think I've met maybe two of the group. We just haven't had any events where I can meet people. So
I know,
that's
I know.
unfortunate, but I know that'll change. That'll change.
Yes, it will change, and we do have some exciting plans in place for
Good.
our current Sun Devil 100 class and then our upcoming class. Oh
So
yeah, including a new golf tournament, Moon and Gold in
good,
April.
good.
I'll give you info on that.
Okay. So you talked about the signature events and that's
Oh, yeah. So we have our one area you could think of is our signature events and programs. Our second area, and we have a director of chapter relations. So again, we oversee an extensive network, 170 chapters throughout the world, whether they are located here, Maricopa based is our special interest chapters, such as Los Diablos, LGBT, Black Alumni Chapter, or our geographic chapters, New York, Chicago, LA. You've met the chapter leaders when you travel with us for the tailgates. And then the third component is our programs for students. It's very important that we are visible in front of the students. So we do have a director in charge of student programs. One of those, my favorite, the SAA, the Student Alumni Association. These are the spirit, pride, tradition keepers of the university. For example, our beloved A Mountain, they are up there making sure it is gold at all times, except during Echo from the Buttes. And the other student component is our medallion scholarship program. So for those of you who drive with the ASU license plates, continue to drive with your Sun Devil pride because 17 of the $25 fee goes directly to these scholars. So we have about 30 scholars for each year. So about 120 scholars in our program. And again, there's nothing more important than the students. So we also have our legacy scholarship and so it's important that we are visible to the students. And then between all that, we have multiple programs. You're familiar with several of them, ASU Leadership Institute, our Sun Devil Generations for small kids. So from the moment somebody is born, we are in front of them saying, Sparky is your BFF, giving them, babies, the bibs, and getting them all ready for a lifelong relationship with ASU. So we kind of have all of these engagement opportunities, plus, our board of directors, our National Alumni Council, and always creating experiences and opportunities for all Sun Devils.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Other than the group that you work with, which I'm going to exclude Dr. Wilkinson and Dr. Crow because I know they are in your group, who would you say is your favorite role model leader?
My favorite role model,
Leader.
my favorite role model leader.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I would have to say, my parents. My parents are great role models, both of them, my mom and my dad. They have such great outlook, great advice, and they are just always there. So I would certainly say I've learned a lot, perfect role models from my parents.
Well, that's a good answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me
My,
about,
I
go
think
ahead.
my dad would always say, work hard and be mentally tough to me and my two sisters growing up. And we're like, yeah, Dad, whatever. We don't even know what that means. I mean, from when we were little, work hard and be mentally tough. And then one day it just clicks and you're like, huh, that's good advice.
Yeah. Well, I remember my dad used to say, "This too shall pass."
Yes.
I've learned what that means. So, tell me about a leadership where you would consider to be something that was a failure in leadership in your world that you've learned from. I mean, I've had mistakes in leadership. It wouldn't take me very long to tell you about some mistakes I've made, and you learn from them, which is why they're important, obviously.
Right, right, right. Um, I think the thing I love most about working at ASU, we are able to try things, and if it fails, it's just what you said, it's a learning tool.
Mhm.
So we have that comfort level to try new things. And I think maybe with a couple of our programs or events, if they just weren't, some of them haven't been successful. So, I mean, they no longer exist. So you need to know when to sunset something. And, we've had to do that throughout the years, and you just learn from your mistakes and move on.
What strikes me is that you guys have a very tight team. You travel together, obviously, which means
Right.
you pretty much know everything about each other that one could probably know.
Uh-huh.
And yet I had a employment advisor lawyer tell me that it's very risky to become friends with your employees, that you
Right.
take the risk of going over the line as a in my case an owner employer.
Right.
Um, and I know you guys seem to manage that well, but what if you had an issue with one of your employees? Tell me how you go to them and say, hey, we haven't done this well, or we have to do this better. What's your style with that?
Right. Oh, yeah, and that happens too. I mean, you always have to have difficult conversations. And again, if for me, I just like to focus on on the business side of things. As a individual, I will always be supportive. However, if we have a goal that we need to accomplish on the business side of things, it's okay to have those conversations and um, to be forthcoming and honest and it's a conversation. You're going to have difficult conversations for the rest of your life. So it's nothing to run from.
Sure. Speaking of difficult and running from, do you mind if I ask you about your illness and how you've handled it? Tell us a little bit about what happened in the last few years.
Okay, sure, sure. So in I guess 4 years ago or so, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was totally shocked. I wasn't feeling sick. So when I found out, I was shocked. I really was shocked. In fact, I was at Disneyland chaperoning a field trip for eighth graders. So I did get the call from the doctor, and he said, "Hey, Alyssa, you do have breast cancer. You need to, have chemo ASAP. You need to go meet with an oncologist on Monday. Just go, go, go." So I ended up meeting with an oncologist, and I immediately liked her. She was with Arizona Oncology, and my sisters came with me. We were meeting oncologists. We were going to go meet several, but this one, we just thought, okay, we love her. This is great. So I did start the chemotherapy, and then surgery, and then the radiation. And again, I do feel very fortunate to just be surrounded by the best of the best. It's kind of hard to talk about because it's kind of a blur. Like it's hard to, it's even though you lose like at least a year of your life going through all of that, it's a little fuzzy for me, to be honest with you.
Did
Um,
you go on leave during that treatment period?
no, I was able to, the chemo was, I was able to have it, I think like on a Thursday afternoon. And then I just did not feel good like on Saturdays or Sundays. So for the most part, the only thing my oncologist would not let me do is travel. So I did miss a football season of traveling, but I had that break during that Sun Bowl. I think it was in between surgery and radiation starting. She said,
Okay.
"Hey, I'll let you go to the Sun Bowl because I wanted to, work the tailgate." She
Yeah.
said, "But you can't fly. If somebody drives you, you can go."
I
So I
think
had a teammate pick me up.
I think that
We
was
went.
Florida State or North Carolina State.
It was NC State. It was North Carolina. It was NC State. That
Yeah.
was the game.
Yep.
Yeah. And, my friend picked me up. We put the wigs put the wigs in the car, the luggage in the car, and off we went. And, I was I just feel very fortunate.
How does, everybody deals with that in their own personal way. What was your style in terms of A, dealing with the fear of cancer, and B, dealing with how I go forward with
Yeah.
being a cancer survivor?
Right. I do have a daughter. Yeah. So yeah, you've met Gianna. So
Mhm.
she was just starting high school. So you kind of want to keep going just so they don't get scared. I didn't want her to get scared.
Yeah.
So she, that kept me going. My parents were so much help. My sisters were so much help. My colleagues, um, my friends, everyone. So you just wanted to get through it. I did not want to miss anything at work. I was mad I couldn't travel. But a bunch of our, I love going to work. I love what we do. So I didn't want to, I don't know, I didn't want to miss anything. So I just,
Well, That tells me an important message from today's. I always like to walk away when I've interviewed somebody with 3 or 4 little snippets. And I think one of those is that I've gotten from you big time is love what you do.
Yeah.
As I can tell you have I mean, I can see why. I suspect I might love what you do too, by the way, but um, I can see I can see it in you though. So
Yeah.
um, I'm just going to ask you a crazy fun question. If you were on a desert island by yourself, stranded, can be in the Pacific if you want it, wherever, what 3 things would you take with you and why?
What 3 things?
And we're not naked and afraid, by the way. This is just you by yourself.
I would take my Kindle for some good books. My phone, take my iPhone
I hope you got a
and
good cell tower with you.
and some Italian food, pizza and wine, and I'll be set.
An unlimited supply of Italian food.
Yes, exactly.
And
Exactly.
if you want any crustaceans, you have to get those yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Um, if there was a movie that was produced about your life, who would play you?
Oh, geez, Lou.
I think I know who it would be.
I don't even, I don't even watch a lot of movies.
Well, there's a movie, I saw a rerun. I every now and then when I'm channel surfing,
Yeah.
I'll see a movie that I've seen like 40 times and I still watch it. Um, My cousin Vinny,
Yes.
the girlfriend, what I can't remember her name, it'll come to me, but
Marissa
Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei.
Yeah, she's funny.
She would be a good Alissa, and the names are close anyway, Marissa and Alyssa.
She's funny.
Yeah,
That
I
is a
think
funny movie.
that would be my choice. So anybody watching this may end up having their own choice. So
She's funny.
so um, just tell me a little bit about the ASU leadership program and what sparked it, what made you guys decide to create it.
Sure. Thanks, Lou. So ASU Leadership Institute, believe it or not, we are in the middle of class 3. So we are recruiting for class 4. I think our board of directors and our National Alumni Council, we were looking to develop a program to kind of start building a pipeline of leaders for some of ASU's other boards, commissions, alumni boards, so to speak. And we're very familiar with Tempe leadership, Valley leadership. So we were able to put together a program that delivers a behind the scenes tour of ASU and also use the wisdom of our faculty, staff, alumni to help create a personal leadership development tool. So we put it together. Our board of directors moved fast, kind of helped create the application. We promoted it, almost a grassroots type of promotion. And sure enough, class 1 came together, and you were part of class 1.
I was your guinea
So
pig.
you were, and you know what, Lou? You would not believe how every year how it evolves and changes, and
Yeah.
how ASU, the agenda, we are changing so fast. Each year already is so different than the year before. Because ASU, we are always moving forward.
Has has the faculty embraced it? So when you say we want to have an issue day at biochemistry and have somebody tell us about what's cutting edge, no problem.
Correct. So now we don't even have to explain really what ASU Leadership Institute is. Now people know. So it's easy to help to build the agenda.
How has this year been with the pandemic? How's this class? I mean, how have you
So
handled it with between virtual and non-virtual?
I was very nervous about the class to make sure they would have high affinity towards each other, towards the program. From what I have been told, about 15 of the individuals feel comfortable coming in person, and about 5 of them have been Zooming virtual all year.
Mhm.
So these 5 feel very close and appreciative of how we've been able to have a virtual leadership institute. In fact, we are getting questions. I had an alum from London say, hey, I want to apply for year 4. So now we're thinking, we thought the virtual portion would just be for this year. Now we're kind of thinking, should we make it a staple of the program and
And
see, right, continue to offer it? So we'll see.
how would that work if you're at a location on campus touring and you've got 70% of your classes with you and 30 is not? Would somebody be wearing GoPros and just
Correct.
filming as you go, kind of a thing?
Yep, exactly. And when we have a presenter, then our camera is, front and center. And on the tours, we have the camera, and, we're able to chat with those who are virtual. So it actually, yeah, it works.
Well, this Zoom technology is going to change the world as we live. I know that for sure. How do
Yeah.
you see it changing your world with the Alumni Association, other than with the leadership program? What else is
So
going
I think Zoom has opened our eyes, because we have been able to communicate and engage with alums from all over the world. So this has been helping us every single day with every program, even our medallion interviewers. We've always had our reviewers have been able to do this from remote places, but now the interviews, we were able to open up the interviews. We just had a reception for alums in Israel,
on?
Tucson, you name it. So we have actually been able to engage with more alums.
Mhm.
And
Well, this,
so, yeah, it's going to be in all of our events.
this particular dialogue that I'm having with you, the idea was born because of the Zoom technology, that I could have people give me 45 minutes of their time instead of an hour and 45 minutes of their time.
Yeah,
And they could be at their
right.
desk at work. So is your desk
Yeah,
at work always that clean, or did you clean it up for today?
I cleaned it up.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
I just shoved everything up front.
Everything, as soon as we leave, is going to come back out and expand.
Right, yes.
So,
Yeah.
just a couple more questions, if you don't mind. Just kind of, this is a little bit more on my interest level. When you guys are choosing to tailgate, so we're going to go to, I don't know, I know Seattle, you got that down pat. Let's go to a different place. Say you decide you're going to go to Pullman, Washington to do your out of town tailgate. What's involved in that? How do, from like today, does that start like 3 months before the season, 6 months?
Right,
Or how do you
right.
get that ball rolling?
So, we do have a system. So we will always hit our non-conference marquee game. So that's, when we went to Madison, for Wisconsin, for Illinois, for Mizzou, for when we had Notre Dame in
In Dallas.
Dallas. So we will always have that non-conference marquee game. Then we will always go to either UCLA or SC, because we have so many alums in
Right.
California that, we will always go there. And then the other piece we look at is, where are the alums? Where are the active chapters? And, how, and not how easy is it, but how fast can we get, the contracts, the space, what's that working relationship with? So we try to always shoot for 3, but sometimes we just can't help ourselves and we have to go, we
Get
have,
one more.
yeah, exactly.
So do you have an advanced team that would go up early on to start looking at sites and talking to?
Whether it's our chapter or it's staff here, and normally, pre-COVID, summertime, we had our Sun Devil send-offs throughout the country. So we have 50 events going on coast to coast in June and July. So we would kind of bump that up against our football schedule and say, okay, who wants to, so now, we're kind of hitting 2 work events, with one stone. Who wants to hit the Utah send off and go check out, Salt Lake City, Utah, tailgate spots or
A couple of years ago, the Utah tailgate, great spot sitting up there on the hill by the basketball arena. But it was one of the coldest games I've ever been to. I froze that game, just froze.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that kind of weather, and I wasn't dressed for that kind of weather.
I know, trust me, we've been freezing, we've been dripping in sweat, humidity, you name it, we have experienced it.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is always El Paso because it's my hometown and I get to get a little bit of football, little tailgate, and a little hometown. So I always enjoy it. So, we're gonna close out here in a minute, Alissa. I really appreciate your spending time with me. I've gotten to know you through, a number of different avenues, including being in the Arizona State Leadership Institute. You're an amazing woman. You are full of energy, I'll tell you. You got a lot going on at any given time. Any final words for Sun Devil Nation that you want to share with us?
I would say, Sun Devils, thank you for being the best of the best. I am continuously amazed at Sun Devil Nation. So thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for helping keep the spirit, pride, and traditions alive. So Sun Devil Nation, I love you. Go Devils.
Thank you very much, Alissa. Thanks for volunteering, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Lou. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.